Welcome live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. July 20th is the date, and after a week of us just sitting in the studio, apparently our cameraman didn't like it because the following day we built up the table. So, you totally caught me off guard. You're like, let's go downstairs. I'm like, what are we working on? You're like, you'll see.
Oh, because he went and got the PVC and whatnot?
Mm-hmm. And then, me being a Dumbo, I took it out of his van tonight, and I go over the railing, and it goes, tsh. I'm like, awesome. So right now, holding this brace together is duct tape. And,
It's one of the original racing repair tools.
That's what I said. Sure, rednecks use duct tape. And then my mom goes, heart design duct tape, though? Really? I'm like,
I didn't even notice that.
yeah.
That's kind of funny.
But, shut up.
Fortunately, the camera doesn't go that low.
Oh, it could. Just bang it down. I could lift the thing so everybody could see it.
But it's pretty stable. It's not falling apart with the cardboard tubes. Take a look at our motorsport show lineup. Been a long weekend. Here, Motorsports is 60. Then we go to IndyCar, Formula 1, Red Bull Global Rallycross. Take a break. No NASCAR this weekend because Nationwide Series was the only NASCAR sanctioned racing major because they had
So
the
why
home
would you
tracks.
say no NASCAR this weekend?
Well, for the topic. We usually have NASCAR and we cover the Cup Series. But
Okay.
Nationwide Series is the Motorsport in 60. So in place of NASCAR is the live event season update big night last night at NHMS. And then we'll go to the final lap. So let's take a look. Motorsports in 60. 60 seconds is up there. One event. EnjoyIllinois.com 300. Top 5. Here you go. Finishing 5th, Ty Dillon. Casey Kane finished 4th. Kyle Larson finished 3rd. Trevor Bayne finished 2nd. And Chase Elliott won the race. So how was your weekend?
Yeah. Well, usually I'm the one that talks and messes up your timer.
Well,
Still got 30 seconds to go. More than 30.
30. Yeah.
Well, you could have mentioned that you were happy because Chase Elliott's your driver. You decided to start following him.
Well, I've been following
Nationwide
him
Series.
since day one. My driver last year, Austin Dillon, moved up. So I went, see you later, Austin. Who's my cup guy, Stewart. But I'm like, I'm not going to abandon him to go to my Nationwide driver. Because if I did that, I would have went with...
You can't have multiple drivers.
In all honesty, I'm starting to become like you and like everybody. Jamie
Right,
McMurray
but
wins. Great job, Jamie. Great job. Casey Kane does win.
Well, Jimmy Johnson wins, I still say great job.
Well, I know.
I don't want that to happen, but, that's what it is.
Moving on to IndyCar now. That was a waste of 30 seconds. 2 races this weekend. The 2 in Toronto, which last week, if you remember, we were discussing going up there, and you just gave me a firm no.
Yeah, pretty much. Because where it is. And
Huh.
well, first of all, we both need passports now.
Yeah.
And we didn't have time to get a passport to be there in time.
Well,
Hey, you could always cross the border illegally, but I wouldn't.
that would totally end my career.
And I'd be stuck on the other side.
Race 1 was supposed to be raced Saturday, but because of Mother Nature, she's spoiling
Again.
everything, it got pushed to this morning. And because I'm a Dumbo, this morning I woke up and I went to look for the top 5 for yesterday's race. And I went, what's up with that? And then I get on Twitter, today's race has been moved to, yesterday's race has been moved to this morning at like 10:30 on it. I'm like, oh, that's why I can't find the top 5.
What channel was it on?
CNBC. I didn't see it because
Yeah.
I went back to sleep when I heard I didn't have to do work. So race 1, here's your top 5. Finishing 5th, Scott Dixon. Simon Pagenaud finished 4th. Tony Kanaan finished 3rd. Helio Castro Neves finished 2nd. Sebastian Bourdais won race 1. Race 2 was raced today. It went so long, and because Mother Nature was going to spoil the party again, it went from, we have 65 laps, they got to 45, and they went, okay, we're going to put 10 minutes on the board, and that's how, race will be over in 10 minutes. Because apparently there were like severe storms coming in, and they're like, we're not going to get 20 laps in.
Yeah,
So
they
let's
didn't want it to be sudden on
Yeah.
the cars either.
Yeah, exactly. So the race started with laps and ended with time. So here's your top 5. Finishing 5th, Takuma Sato. Charlie Kimball finished 4th. Will Power finished 3rd. Tony Kanaan finished 2nd. And Mike Conway won the race after a late race restart. Formula One, we're going to go to our, not recorded yet, tomorrow we'll record this. We're recording this on Sunday, so we will record the Formula One segment on Monday, whatever. To the Formula One
It's getting me
segment.
dizzy.
To the Formula One segment with me and Peter Long, so let's go. So now to the Formula One segment with Formula One Racing Hotspot Formula One analyst Peter Long. How are you today, Peter?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Devin?
I'm doing good. So let's look at our top 5 real quick here. Finishing 5th from the German Grand Prix was Fernando Alonso. Sebastian Vettel finished 4th. Lewis Hamilton finished 3rd. Valtteri Bottas finished 2nd. And Nico Rosberg won the race. I finally got Valtteri Bottas' name down. Woohoo!
Yes.
So Rosberg bounced back from last week's, in NASCAR terms, DNF. I know he, in Formula One, it's retired, but talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, if you're a Hamilton fan, the last race went perfectly because, Rosberg had problems with his car, did not finish like you said, had to retire the car, 0 points. Hamilton went on to win the race, so he got the maximum 25 points, and he cut the championship lead of Rosberg to 4 points. So that was great for Hamilton. In Germany, a little different story. Hamilton had a crash in the first session of qualifying. So he ended up 15th on the grid, and then he got pushed back 5. And I'll be honest, I don't know why. I don't know if he had to change a part or something, but he had a 5-spot penalty, I think. And he started 20th on the grid. And for him to come back from 20th all the way to 3rd, even though Rosberg won, Rosberg's German, he races for Mercedes, which is a German company. It was a German Grand Prix. Of course, they were euphoric in Germany, especially following the World Cup victory that they had last week. So, for Hamilton fans such as I, it's okay. I mean, he came in 3rd. Rosberg extended his lead from 4 points now to, I believe it's 14 points. So, Hamilton's still in the hunt for the World Championship, and he should be able to hopefully make that up next week in Hungary, because Hamilton's got a good track record over there in Hungary.
Okay. Dang it, I had a question on my mind and I totally just lost it.
Vettel did really well, and so did Ricciardo, and Alonso, again, manhandled his Ferrari. I mean, he's been outdoing Raikkonen all year, and Kimi's one of my favorite drivers, but Kimi's just no Alonso, I guess, and Alonso's really doing great things with that Ferrari. I mean, it's not the best car, but he still manages to find a way to get up there and get some points every week,
Yeah, Kimi Räikkönen, I think they said he was retiring at the end of this season. Did you hear about that, or is that a rumor?
I don't think it's at the end of this season. He got a 2-year contract with Ferrari, and he said he was going to retire at the end of the 2nd year, and he wasn't going to race F1 anymore. Is that true? Who knows? I mean, Kimi Räikkönen says a lot of stuff. He's very independent, so it could very well be, who knows?
Okay. Lap 1 of the German Grand Prix, as you can see, viewers, we really don't have any order to this. Lap 1, there was a car that flipped. I saw highlights of this race. Talk to us a little bit about that.
That was Massa,
Ooh.
who shut the door on Magnussen, and Magnussen had nowhere to go, and two wheels collide, that's what happens. He ended up flipping his car. He was out of the race. Similar to what happened last week, he was out in the first lap with another accident. I think it was Massa's fault. He had a good start, but he came into the first corner, didn't leave enough room for Magnussen, and, ended in tears for him. So, it's too bad. I mean, especially considering he's got a great car. He only has 30 points on the season, yet his partner Bottas has 82 points. Massa's the more experienced driver. You would think he would be the one with the 82 points, but Bottas, great driver, and he had an amazing duel with a few people out there, you know, during the race. It was really, really awesome. As did Alonso. Alonso had a great fight with Ricardo of the Red Bull team. I mean, if you see highlights of that, I mean, high speed wheel-to-wheel turns. I mean, they're literally a quarter inch away from each other, doing a couple 100 miles an hour in some of these corners. And let me tell you, you get wheels touch and, you know, open wheel racing. It's not like NASCAR racing where there's some bumping. You don't bump in F1. You usually crash if you bump. You know?
Yeah.
Or something breaks, like your suspension, or you cut a tire on the car fiber of the wing or something, you know?
Yeah. Isn't this the second time this season that Massa has had an issue, like, with involving another car? Like, wasn't it Montreal when he got that last lap wreck, or...
Yeah, in Montreal, he was in the last lap, that's right. It was near the end of the race. There was like only a handful of laps left, maybe even one lap left, when he collided with Perez, I believe, in Montreal. I don't remember who he collided with last week in the first lap, but you know, I do remember it happening. So it's 2 races in a row that he's got a retirement in the first lap. So we only have a week till next week, Hungary. Then they have a 3-week break for summer. So it should be an exciting race next weekend also.
Now, quick question. I don't know if Formula One, the officials or the stewards, right, that will they do anything with Massa, because that's now 2 wrecks in the season, or is it just racing's racing, things happen?
It's kind of funny, you know, the stewards did come out, you know, they'll issue a penalty during the race, or they'll say it'll be investigated after the race. They came out with some strange language saying that no further action warranted. And I think what they were trying to say, they never used the word warranted, and I think that what they were trying to say is that, you know, the one who was guilty there was Massa, and his penalty was he's retired from the race, so there's no further action to be taken because he took himself out of the race. Magnussen continued in the race, so, you know, Massa caused it, and he's out of the race, so, you know, I guess that's the end of the story. I mean, is it a racing incident? I think so, but, you know, Massa should have known. I mean, he's an experienced driver. He should have known that wasn't going to work out, you know.
Yeah, and as my dad said with the standing start, his first ever Formula One view, it's basically like taking a flashlight over a bunch of termites or something, and they're all like just going different directions, and that can happen, I guess.
Right.
Anything else looking ahead?
That's how your dad describes Formula One?
Well,
like the termites, huh?
The start of it.
Remember that.
Yeah, you gotta pick on him now. The starts of them, which is basically what it is. Standing start, they basically go from 2 lines to everybody everywhere. And
right.
Looking ahead to Hungary, anything you want to say to that race, previewing it?
No, I mean, it's a very, very popular race. They've had that race going for many, many years now. Like I said, it's the last one before summer break. They'll take a 3-week break after that, so we won't have any Formula One for a month. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that race. I think that, like I said, Hamilton has a good track record there, so hopefully he'll bounce back and can get some good points and maybe bring that title, the championship run a little tighter, you know. So I don't like that 14-point lead. I like, as you can tell, I'm a Hamilton fan, so I want Hamilton to win all the time. I'm not a big fan of Rosberg, even though he's a great driver. You know, I'd just rather see Hamilton win.
Yeah, typical F1 fan. Stay with your driver.
Right.
Anything else you would like to say in this interview or the segment this week, or?
You know, I think the Williams team, you know, Bottas in particular, he's been on the podium now for 3 straight races. You know, the Williams team, by ending second in that race, took over third place in the Constructors' Championship ahead of Ferrari, which I'm sure is not sitting well in the factory in Maranello. So that was important. I mean, Williams are one of the winningest teams in F1, believe it or not, but they just have not been very good in the last 15-ish years. Last championship I think they had was in '97 with Jacques Villeneuve, and in '96 with Damon Hill. They haven't had anything going on for the last 16 years, 17 years. So to see them come back with their Mercedes power plant and doing a great job, doing better than the Red Bulls, doing better than the Ferraris, and basically giving the Mercedes, the factory team, a run for their money. They're doing better than McLaren. I mean, Williams is doing it right this year. They're definitely one of the top teams this year, and it's nice to see them come back. So I look forward to see more success stories from there, and hopefully Massa can pull his weight and start finishing some races and getting some points on the board and ensuring Williams a second or third place finish in the Constructors' Championship, because it would give him a lot of money and help him definitely next year.
Okay. So I guess that'll do it for our Formula One segment with you this weekend or this week. We'll see you next week, and then we won't see you for a month, as you said. I don't want to talk about that month because it means I'm going back to school. But yeah, so thank you, Peter, for this week. And yeah, that's gonna do it.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you next week, Devin.
All right. So that's your Formula One segment. I still have yet to learn to say, back to you, Devin. No, I don't do that anymore. Like, I want to every week, but I don't. So we'll just say that's your Formula One segment. Volkswagen Rallycross New York, Nassau Coliseum.
Yep. Did you get to see any of it?
Yes. Did you?
No, I forgot. I wanted to put it on and totally forgot.
It was a good race.
Is that indoors?
No, it was in the parking
The
lot.
parking lot.
No, they put boards on the stands and they inside the seating, and they. Well,
You still get to sit?
well,
Do you still get to sit if they do that?
no, they hang it from the.
You do realize that they do things inside
Yeah.
the trucks and the...
Right.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Rallycross apparently wasn't able to fit. So, whatever. Here's your top 5 from an exciting day in New York. Johnny Winman?
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know, but I would say Wyman.
Okay, Johnny Wyman finished 5th. Ken Block finished 4th. Nelson Piquet Jr. finished 3rd. Scott Speed finished 2nd. And Tanner Faust won the race. Being that we're getting bigger on YouTube, and if you use a NASCAR theme song, we get copyrighted. We can't show any coverage of video of this, but I can describe it. 3 red flags in the finals because the way the track was designed is they went down a straightaway, they turned right, little straightaway, little actually, you know what? Why am I going to describe it when I can find it?
But I thought you just said you can't show it.
No, I can't show a video, but I can show pictures
Why can't you show a video?
because I don't have permissions. Even though when I do everything right by saying that it's not mine, it's all credit to them. YouTube's automated system just sees it, they don't hear me, and they see it and they copyright me.
What do you mean they copyright you?
Apparently if I use a NASCAR video, I'll get copyrighted, meaning this video's nobody can watch it in the entire world. They shut it off YouTube. Kind of stupid, but
I don't think you're using the right term though, copyrighted. That doesn't sound
well,
right.
it says copyright infringement.
So yes, you're not getting copyrighted. The copyright is on the actual video, and when you play it, they ban it because it is copyrighted, not you.
Well,
So they don't fine you or anything like that, which is fine.
Yeah.
At least you don't pay that kind of price.
I get it. Yeah, no. Here's the track. So they started back here. They went around, and in this hairpin, it's the only left-hand hairpin, as you can see. They almost everybody wrecked on the start. Because like right here, they were 4 wide. It's wide enough. All right, not wide enough, and they were still 4 wide.
Yep.
And they went 4 wide over the jump, and they had a camera right here, and you just see everybody go like this, ring, and they're like going separate directions, and then they come right back together, and
It looks like the north lot they did it in that. If you look at the picture.
Looking at the picture, yeah.
yeah, you guys know more about this than
Been there.
Lots of times actually. Used to go there for Islander games all the time.
Used to work only 4 miles from it. Not even that.
Well, the
Yeah.
first White Castles was right by there.
I wanted to
Well,
get
not right by there, but close.
I wanted to get to that this weekend, but I'm kind of glad I didn't
Get to
because
what?
the Rallycross in New York.
Oh.
But because it's right there, you know what I mean. And my mom, oh, we'll go down Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'll get the racing on Sunday. We can go visit family Friday and Saturday.
I like that point of view. It's right there. Can't wait till he starts paying for his own gas.
No. I don't mean it like that. I mean like, never mind. So that's gonna bring us to our first break. We're gonna, on the other side of this break, we're gonna have live event season update. Do you have notes for the nationwide race?
No, you didn't give me my thingy.
I could have sworn I shared the. You know what? We'll look at that over commercial. So we're gonna take a break, and on the other side of this break, we'll look at more live events and the final lap, and that'll be our show. So we'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. For those of you looking for the virtual race, him and I, if you're up to it, will record that after this and upload it. Indianapolis, we'll race against each other.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be like short, late race. He might not, depending. He might need to get home. Also, now we usually move on to the points championship, and for those of you looking for that, the Cup Series didn't race this weekend, so we didn't have those.
Right.
So we're getting the picks. I probably should use last week to get the picks, and then preview them this week, and then.
This way we don't get it all messed up.
Yeah.
Just send me a pics. I'll fix them.
I did. It worked. Everybody seemed to pick different picks except for 2 people, and it's like, stupid people. But whatever.
But that was their picks.
I know. To fill the NASCAR and points championship gap, we have live event season update. Really, it's just a recap. If you look over at the screen, previous event, Granite State Legends and Bandolero cars at NHMS. Here's your results for those races. And next is Granite State Legends cars on the road course, landing 2, the El Car Tour, and then the Granite State Bandolero cars. Take a look at our top 3 from the Signworks Oval Series Legends car race last night. Here's your top 3. Finishing 3rd, Taylor Martin. Sean Buffington finished 2nd, and Tom Gray won the race. That's a change.
No, I think the video.
No, I'm saying that because they'll be watching this,
Yeah.
and they'll get a kick out of it. There was only 5 cars there last night, so when I went up to Sean, and I actually have a story to tell you, but when I went up to them, I was like, I'm just going to start getting interviews from the top 3. They're like, well, don't do the top 6. I'm like, why? There's only 5 cars here. I'm like, it's a good reason. Bandolero cars raced 2 races last night. One was a makeup from May because they got everybody there. They started the Legends car race, got the Legends car race done. They brought the Bandolero cars out there, and it downpoured.
Yeah, I think I
And
remember
they're
that
like-
hearing that.
And they're like, okay, hold on. We can wait it out. It got like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they went, we'll make it up another day because they didn't have the air titans. So it wasn't going to be
Or lights.
or lights, or air titans to drive the track, because since they don't have lights. But Bandolero cars, this top 3 is for the actual race they raced last night. Casey Call finished 3rd. Robbie Douglas finished second, and AJ Eastman won the race. This will blow your mind. Casey Cole, 10 years old. Robbie Douglas, 13. AJ Eastman, 15, turning 16.
Cool. Those are those little cars, right? That you pop out the top.
Yeah, basically look like Matchbox cars.
Yep.
Yeah. And all three of them, you'll see post-race interviews in a minute. All three of them all said that they want to be in NASCAR. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, because I'm looking ahead thinking by the time they're in NASCAR racing full-time, like Jimmy Johnson and Jeff
Like
Gordon.
what I said to you.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I'll be in the booth calling their races. And I'll be like, there goes Casey Call. Holy cow, I know that kid. Him and I grew up together in New Hampshire, and yeah. So that's your top 3 from both series last night. Look at the... Is this going to work? No, it's not. Stupid thing. We'll look at the post-race interviews. The video starts off pretty sane. Me and Taylor just talking and having an interview, and then I handed the mic over to Taylor Martin to interview the other two. And it gets pretty interesting. So, you're not going to work. So, just take a look at that starting right now. I'm now with third place finisher Taylor Martin. Second time we've done an interview together, so we're a little bit more comfortable. As Sean and Tom, they're weird. So tonight you finished third. We noticed when I was up there, other past races, you always seem to be up there with them. Tonight you seem to be a little off. What was going on?
Well, last Saturday I tore my meniscus, so I mean I shouldn't be racing with it anyways, but can't let that get in the way of my racing. And today was actually our fastest time ever on this track, but Tom and Sean are amazing. Both of them are. They're just phenomenal, and they keep getting faster and faster. So, I got to keep up with them, but once I get the surgery on my knee, I'll be back up there.
That was going to be my next question. What's going on with your knee? But you just answered that. What happened? Like playing sports, fell down the stairs, woke up one morning. What?
Well, last year I tore the PCL, and I never did physical therapy, so it was always pretty messed up. And I was going over this wall we have at my house, and I twisted it, and it completely came dislocated. It was a mess. It was horrible.
That sounds fun. I mean, sorry. So you're not supposed to be racing, but you'll continue. How is that in the car then?
Well, basically, I've just been taking Advil, icing it. I've been taking care of it like a baby. When it comes to race time, I have this brace I have on now. I have another one, which is softer, so it protects it when I'm in the race car. But the only thing that really irritates it is because I drive with 1 foot, so now I have to learn how to drive with 2 feet. And you know what? Surgery will be in another couple weeks anyway, so it'll be better before you know it.
So after you get surgery, it's going to be a couple weeks of no Taylor Martin, or?
I think I'm still going to race. I can't really let that get in the middle of my season. Probably not the smartest idea, but, it is what it is. Can't really do anything about it.
All right. Well, I know you got to go, so we won't hold you up, but good job tonight. Third place. Could have been 5th out of 5 cars. But, yeah, so thank you for the interview, and great job tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I decided I'm going to hand it over to a fellow driver. Taylor Martin's going to do the interview, so here we go.
Finishing second this week was Sean Buffington. How did it feel finishing second to Tom Gray?
Well, you know as well as I do, Taylor, it's no fun at all.
All right, and how was your car out there?
Car was great for the first half of the race, but then the right rear went away, and that's all she wrote after that. So we'll put some new tires on it, and we'll be back next weekend.
I noticed that Tom had a huge lead on you towards the end of the race. How did that make you feel?
Well, I wanted to go see how you were doing, so I let up a little bit, and, no, he had the better car, and this is supposed to be funny, right? He had a great car, mine went away, and it is what it is. It shows. We caught him in the beginning, and after that, it was like I had a right rear flat, or like someone put the wrong tires on the wrong side of the car, I don't know.
All right, well, congratulations on your second place.
Congratulations to you too, Taylor, and congratulations to Mr. Gray for winning.
Thank you, Taylor, for interviewing Sean. Now over to Tom.
And finishing in first was Tom Gray. How did it feel to finally take down Sean Buffington?
It felt good. The problem is, you know, we got to do that more often, and you can't start a win streak. Yeah, until you win one. So obviously, I've started one. Now I got to continue one.
All right, so I noticed out there you looked like a rocket. How did it feel to see Sean getting smaller and smaller in your mirror?
Excellent, actually. After he hit me and stuffed me in the wall in turn 2, I said, well, he must have wrecked some crap, and he's going to go backwards, talk with Taylor a little bit, and then they're both going to come after me.
Yeah, well, I want to congratulate you, and hopefully you'll be able to beat him again next weekend.
Hopefully I can.
Hey guys, I don't know if you noticed I'm on one knee because, no offense to you, he's a pretty short guy, but I don't want to make him look up at me. I'm here with Casey Call, number 90, just number 90? Yeah. Okay. Pretty good race today. You finished second, sorry, I'm looking at my notes, finished second in round 1 and third in round 2, well, race 2. How was your car out there?
Well, including after we got into a wreck last weekend on Sprint Cup weekend, we fixed the car in that 1 week, and we had a bunch of help from our competitors and some friends. And the car was tight at first, and we loosened it up, and it was just right at the sweet spot, and we set a new track record.
That's awesome. So, I'm sorry, guys. I really don't have questions planned out here. Talk about tonight. Car good, loose, like to be better?
Well, tonight the track got a little colder, so the track conditions changed. So we had the car loose, and it loosened up a little more because track conditions. And then we were actually really fast, but we just didn't have the speed on the bottom to get cleared by AJ Eastman and Jacob Perry.
Okay. I really should have thought of questions. Anything else you would like to say regarding tonight or me or I don't know?
Well, I like this track. I want to thank everybody who came out, supported. I'd like to thank you for doing these interviews. And I'd like to thank Chanel Auto Part, Signworks for wrapping my car, and I'd like to thank all my competitors for coming out to the track to come race us.
All right. Thank you. I mean, you're welcome for the interview. Just bringing awareness to you guys. Thank you for doing the interview with us. And now on to the 33 AJ Eastman. Yep. Okay. Now on to AJ Eastman. Okay. So now, thanks Devin for sending that to me. That's really cheap operation, just me. Now with AJ Eastman, correct? Mm-hmm. He finished third in race 1 of the Bandolero cars. Tell us about your car and your race, and yeah.
In the first race, it was one of the most fun races I've had in a long time. My good friend Jake and my other good friend Casey, we were battling for the top 3 throughout the entire race, and eventually Jake pulled ahead, and I followed in with Casey, and we finished 1, 2, 3.
That's awesome. I noticed when you were racing, there were some moments where a caution came out, and I went, because I noticed you were maneuvering the car really well. So, how long have you been doing Bandolero cars? I'm sorry, I really don't have questions written down. How long have you been doing bandos and stuff?
I've been racing bandos. This is my 3rd year now. And I started at the Waterford Speedbowl, and that track didn't really suit us. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And then we tried to race at Bethlehem, New York, and that was a really fun track. We loved it. It was just the adventure it took. It took 3 to 3.5 hours to get there. And we found this track, and it's perfect. I mean, I love the track. I love the people here. It's just a blast.
All right. Tell us a little bit to get to know you for a driver bio. Why not? What did you do before bandos? Is this your first racing? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, my dad used to race, and he got me into this, but before these, I raced ATVs, and yeah, I used to just ride around with my friends and stuff, but car-wise, this is my first car ever. It just kind of hooked with me, and I love it. It's something I want to do for a long time.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 15, almost 16.
Holy cow. So are you looking ahead of going to Legends, or are you going to race this until you're old enough to go to ACT, or what's your future?
Well, we're thinking about this being my last year, just because I'm going to college in 2 years. So, we want to start focusing on school and scholarships and stuff in sports. But I mean, now that I think about it, my brother, who just raced this car actually in practice alone, he did great. I'm thinking about racing. I want to race with him now. I think that would be fun. I mean, come out every once in a while, so we don't have to work on the car as often. I think it'd be fun.
That sounds fun. So you're basically gonna probably try to step aside from racing, go through college, sports, stuff like that, and then come back? Or when you come back, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, well, my dad wants me to get into a mini stock, and I think that sounds like a lot of fun. We just don't know where we'd race them. I mean, this seems like a cool place with the road course every once in a while, but I know that's a touring division. So, I mean, I don't really know where my racing career is going to go after this. I wanted to go somewhere, though.
Okay, well, good luck. Probably by the time if you want to get to NASCAR, by the time you get to NASCAR, I'll probably be in the press booth, so I'll be able to say, hey, I knew that kid. So thank you for the interview, and great job tonight.
Thanks.
I'm here now with Jacob Perry. He won the race one of actually the makeup race for the Bandos, and finished fourth in the second one. So how was your race car today?
Well, the race car was destroyed in second practice. We blew up the clutch, and so my dad was working everything, and he made a couple mistakes, but he got the car back, and I can't believe it, but we spun out because the car was terrible. We came back, and we won race one. Race two wasn't such our race. The brakes were dragging, and they were locking up, and the motor was over-revving. Car wasn't the best.
I noticed in race two, you got caught up in one of the wrecks, right? In turn 3 and 4, I believe. Then I said it on the show how amazing you were right back in third. But how was that in the wreck? Like, you got caught up in it, wasn't?
Well, actually, me and Robbie were the ones who started the wreck. I kind of came down, and he kind of drove into me. It was both of our faults, but we both got over it pretty quickly. And when somebody gets me angry, I don't drive back into them. I make myself work even harder to get back to the front.
That sounds like a great race car driver right there, and you are one. So tell us a little bit about your racing history, how old you are, yeah.
Well, I'm 12 years old. I started racing bandoleros at 8 at a track named Waterford Speed Bowl. I'm from Connecticut. I used to run quarter midgets from age 4 to age 8. I retired, youngest driver ever. Moved up one of these, happy with these, and hopefully moving up next year, either a legend or a mini stock.
That's awesome. Do you ever want to be in NASCAR, or are you like, NASCAR's not my thing, or?
NASCAR is definitely my thing. I mean, I was up here Cup weekend cheering them on. I love NASCAR. I don't know if you can tell, but this is one of Kevin Harvick's old cars from 2004. I just kind of changed up the number.
I didn't even know that. That's awesome. So you hope to get into Cup racing in the near future?
Definitely in the near future. I don't want to wait. I'm not a big patience boy.
So probably by the time you get to the Cup Series, I'll be in the booth and I'll be able to say, hey, I knew that kid when he was racing at NHMS. So that's pretty cool. Good job tonight. Anything else you would like to say?
I'd like to say thank you to my dad and my mom for getting me out here and supporting me in these race cars. And I want to thank my aunt who gave us some money for some new tires, which helped us win tonight. And I want to thank my dad's cousin, Norm Perry. He's blind and he's just the best guy ever. He builds modified motors and he helped my brakes because I had brake problems all through the season earlier on, and he helped me get the win today. So I want to thank everybody on my crew. I want to thank Critical Signs, PMW Marine, G3 Racing, BobValeni.com, and Westerly Auto Body. And remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
Thank thank you for doing the interview with us, and great job tonight.
Thank you.
Last but not least, I didn't mean to make it seem like that. Robbie Gordon Douglas, you finished. Sorry, should have been ready. You finished second in the second race, and where did you finish on the first race?
Well, we kind of had a little issue and got taken out, and so we ended up, I think, last in the first race.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring up bad memories. Second place, though. You came back from the first race and the second race. Tell us about your car tonight, and yeah.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank a couple people. I'd like to thank MCD Satellite and Wiring. I'd like to also thank and mention the DT100 in Maine that comes up in March. I'd like to thank JD Ducato and Sons Fueling, Granite State Dyno and Tune, my grandfather for helping me put the car back together, and Ryan Ux, one of the flagmen, for helping me put the car back together. But in the second race, I was a bit mad at the first one, so I think that made me more aggressive for the second one. I just went out, drove my line, was able to drive under people and drive up top, and the car really handled well anywhere. And as soon as I just got by people, unfortunately I couldn't get by the 33, but getting by two people after getting wrecked in a first race was really good, considering we had to put the car back together.
You finished, like you just said, you came back and you finished second, and we were talking to Jacob Perry, and he was saying how I believe he said you and him got in a wreck in race 2. You rallied back to finish second. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was being a little too aggressive. Him and Casey Call were bump drafting down the back straightaway, and I went to go low, and unfortunately I dive bombed him, and we just got together. I don't know if he didn't see me or not, but it wasn't my spot to take, and it was my fault. Starting from the back isn't very fun. You look up the field, even though it's 7 or 8 cars, and it's really, I don't know any words but depressing. You look up the field and you know you have to get by him to pass that first and second place car. And fortunately, we were able to get by them quickly, but we couldn't catch up to them. And so once the caution came out, we were able to catch up to them, and a couple of mistakes were made in front of us, and we were able to capitalize and get second place.
Sounds like a typical race weekend to me. Anything else you would like to say? You thanked your sponsors, talked about tonight's race. Anything else regarding the race? You, like bio, how old are you? Yeah.
I'm 13. I've been racing this is my second season, and I've been racing since I was 10. I raced go-karts, and it's different getting in a full body car. It's not the same. It's just you have a full body around you with a roll cage, and in a go-kart you can just bend it back, but in these you have to pretty much replace stuff if you get wrecked. So fortunately we were able to get the car back together after a blown engine and a bent left front, but we were able to get back out there, and I'm proud of all of my crew for helping me getting me back out there.
All right. Any last words you'd like? Not that it sounds like a bad thing, but anything else you'd like to say? Any last words in this interview, or?
I'd just like to thank Jacob, AJ, and Casey for just racing me hard and not trying to wreck each other. And they made a couple mistakes, and that's how I got by them, and they just couldn't get back by me after I drove my line. Jacob and I talked about the wreck. He said it's fine. He didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. It's just racing. It was just a racing incident. So
it's also a good teaching, learning how to race hard. So thank you for the interview. Great job tonight. This is definitely not going to be the last interview that you and I do. That's going to do it for us. Back up to you, topside, Devin.
So you just saw the Legends, and we threw the Bandolero post-race. I'll show you guys that video in a minute. Post-race interview right after the Legends.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't say what I was going to say before, because I didn't realize you hadn't introduced those videos yet.
Okay. So I have to say one thing before I get into the Legends car story. The camera had never been adjusted so much last night when I was interviewing the Bandolero guys, because with the Legends guys, I set it to where it was right now, and I did the interview with Taylor, interview with Tom, interview with Sean, all three, and then the Bandolero kids, One's like this tall, one's this tall, one's this tall. They're like 17 different heights. I'm like, hold on. And that works. Tighten that down. Alright, now I gotta change it. And it's probably got its most workout, the tripod last
You couldn't
night.
have just moved it. You had to actually keep going up and down.
Well, I want to try to keep it a level. Like, if I have it up high and it's looking down, it's like, hi, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want it seeming like we were from a boom camera. But Sean and Tom and the entire TSM team, I'm sorry if I got that wrong, guys, you'll get a kick out of this. So yesterday we go to the track, right? And I am nervous to the point of, like, I'm about to make Jimmy Johnson, because I was planning on interviewing Tom and Sean and Taylor. Taylor, we've been talking for a year. It's gotten to the point where I can walk by and be like, "Sup?" And she'll be like, "Nothing much." Like, we're like friends, and that's what I guess we are. And I was really nervous, and I walk over, and I have butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, because, well, they're like two big names in Legends cars.
I understand that.
So I was, and I walk over, and Sean Buffington's face went from talking like a normal conversation to, "Holy cow!" And he's pointing at me, and he goes, "You're Devin from Racing Hotspot." And I'm like, "Oh, wow!" And that my whole nervousness just went gone.
That's kind of good.
I'm like, "Holy cow!" And I'm like, "How do you know me?" And Sean's like,
I'm the one that's famous.
I know, that's what I was feeling like. I'm like, they go, "Taylor introduced us to your videos for research purposes, like for after a race, take a look at the race, see what happened to Tom Gray's car, or you know what I mean, like if there's a wreck, they have a video."
A different point of view than they may already have.
Yeah, exactly. And they watched the videos, and they were hearing my commentary, and they were cracking up at me. Because, like, one time, you guys know it, Taylor Martin passed Tom Gray and got into second place, and Tom Gray bumped her. And I'm like, and that's Tom Gray saying, "Welcome to the second placeman's club, Taylor." And they found that so funny, because I heard that from them, like, 1,000 times last night. They kept repeating it. It was like, it was awesome. And
That is awesome.
yeah, and I was like, all day I was nervous, because I'm like, what if I'm interviewing them and I crack a joke and they just give me a look like, really? And I was nervous about that and stuff like, and within 5 minutes of me talking to them, they were cracking jokes, they were having a good time. I'm like, never mind, I'm very confident. My confidence
That makes me
level.
wonder what's going to happen if you get to interview somebody like Tony Stewart. You'll probably pass out.
Well, Tony Stewart, the Legends car guys, as you know, they're real. They're not like, I'd like to thank Jimmy Johns and Lowe's and Sprint and this. They're, as you saw, he buffed me in the wall, and then I thought he was going back to talk with you, and then they were gonna. It was.
Well, they're all real, and you would get that out of a guy like Tony Stewart if he got busted into the wall. You know, you've heard interviews
Well,
where
I know that.
it wasn't all
but,
about the sponsor.
Well, I know that, but he didn't get busted in the wall. They raced clean, Sean and Tom, as you'll see. And by the time this shows up, this will be up for a couple days at 52 minutes on the race coverage. But yeah, it was amazing how I went into it. I was like freaking out. I'm like, okay, keep your composure, hand him a couple business cards, introduce yourself, and immediately the finger goes up, and Sean Buffington loses his mind. He goes, "I've been wanting to meet you for almost a year now." I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I've been really wanting to meet him for a year now.
Did you smack Taylor? Why? Well, she knew that. Why didn't she introduce you?
Well, I hadn't been at the track. This was the second time I was in the infield in the last year.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a situation of, yeah, I'm up in the grandstands, come on out, guys, because they have to do a job. And they said that they see me in the grandstands all the time, and they want me to come in, but I never do, because I always thought, you know what, I'll just get the race coverage and we'll leave. And now I'm going to start being in the infield a lot more. So...
Now, is there a cost to that, or is it just the passes?
I think it's $10 for me, $15 for you. But I think Jonathan and I, well, actually Jonathan is working out something for me to be able to get in you guys would have to pay, but for me to be able to get in with basically like a media pass, but it's basically a pass you just get into the infield. But after the race, we stood around for like an hour talking, and they were like saying how they laugh at our shows, like this show they'll probably watch and they'll be laughing at for the next week because, and I told you last night, your dad, no, who's your co-host? My uncle. He's hilarious. And I'm like, he's alright. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, I'm kidding. And, yeah.
Well, it's not hard to pick on you.
But, yeah. You're giving me the look like we gotta get going here. So.
Well, I'm hungry.
Oh, I know. So, moving on now. Last but not least, final lap. IndyCar is off till August 3rd. Formula 1 is Sunday, 8 a.m. They're racing the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Hungarian would be correct.
Yeah, Hungarian Grand Prix. Rallycross Saturday, 2 p.m. on NBC. They're racing in Charlotte.
You just wanted to mention Hungary.
No, actually, I get it now. 2D United Sports Car Tour Championship, dang it. Races Friday night, 7 p.m. Fox Sports 1. They're racing at the Brickyard. The trucks are on an odd night. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. They're returning to the dirt for the second time, Eldora Speedway. Nationwide Series, Saturday, 4:30 p.m. ESPN. They're racing at the Brickyard. And the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, Sunday, 1 p.m. on ESPN, not on TNT or Fox, on ESPN. They're racing at the Brickyard, too.
You know what would be really cool with that? Just to make it a little different, have the sprint guys do the oval and have the nationwide guys do the road course. The road course on Saturday, followed by the outside, the cup guys. You know what I mean? And are they actually at the Brickyard nationwide?
Yeah, they moved.
I thought they were racing at that other.
No, they moved away from that track.
Indy was the ISP or something.
Yeah, Indianapolis Motorsports Park or something like that. But
no, they don't do that anymore. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess the nationwide could be exciting on Indy.
yeah, it's been
Just
2
that Indy's
years.
a very big track.
It's
so
been 2 years of them racing there. So
has it really? Well, I probably watched them. Anyway.
oh yeah, I recognize this. Yep. So really, next weekend, expect an extended type show. We'll try not to go past an hour, but being that almost every topic except for IndyCar is racing next weekend,
Mm-hmm.
we get to see how our new show lineup works. Okay, so now we're going to move Rallycross in front of Formula 1 because Formula 1 gives away stuff from Rallycross. No. So that's going to do it for us this week. Join us next week when we recap Formula 1, Rallycross, 2D United Sports Car Champion, all of NASCAR, and Legends Cars Saturday night. Yeah, I'm all set now.
It was a busy weekend.
So
Actually, it's a busy week altogether
yeah.
with the Wednesday thing, which is cool. I like that.
And it's on. I did a show on it last year explaining why they're Wednesday night because they have every week stuff and they need NASCAR.
Who's airing it? Do you know? Is it on Speed?
Fox Sports 1.
So, Fox Sports 1.
Yes.
Speed, same thing.
That channel. So that's gonna do it for us. Join us next week when we recap all of that stuff. Hopefully he'll be back. It's kind of become a week-to-week thing. If he's not here, I think we'll try to throw my mom in that seat.
Yeah, try to be here.
Yeah.
Told you I would.
So, yeah. Until we see each other then, have a good week, everybody, and goodbye.